Well, hello everyone and welcome back to another video of some F1 2020 Driver Career Mode with Red Bull. Today we're doing episode number 31 for the United States Grand Prix of Season 2. Now, first of all, before we get into this episode, if you haven't yet subscribed to the channel, then please do so. It's the big red button under the video. Massively helps me out to stay in the channel. We're currently on 229 subscribers and we want to keep that momentum going. If you have subscribed recently, then thank you for your support. But yes, obviously we're going for 2 episodes this week, and then next week we'll probably not have an episode because we got we'll probably be racing at the Nürburgring and we'll have some modded stuff. I haven't quite finalised what that modded stuff is going to be, but there will be something mod. So that's coming next week. This week's just going to be 2 episodes of Drive Career Mode, my team, and then some game ideas, just to a simpler week really for me, in terms of not having to spend that extra time that you don't see behind the scenes on modding. But an aero upgrade has failed. I was thinking about trying to get one of these weight redistribution upgrades done, because they're sitting there and it would massively help the car, but it doesn't seem that we're going to need it anyway. Instead we're going to go repurchase that rear downforce upgrade. We're not going to touch the DRS just yet. I don't think it would be a benefit. We are going to try and rush this minor drag reduction upgrade though, so we can get these 3 minor aero upgrades done by the end of the year. If we can do them, that will put us in a good stead for Season 3, and then obviously we need to take a little bit of a focus on durability and also engine performance, although there's only 4 upgrades left on the engine. I think that there needs to be more depth going forwards to the R&D tree, because the fact of the matter is we've almost gotten to the end of the R&D tree. We're only in the end of Season 2. I mean, if I did more, I suppose if we probably could have got more R&D points out of it, especially not all of the departments are up to level 3, spec 3 as well, so I don't have control over that obviously in the facilities, and that's up to the AI team, which I guess is right, but at the same time the come in the future the R&D points are just going to make it well, we're just going to have so much redundancy, it's going to be ridiculous. Yes, coming into this episode then, and this race, and McLaren and Renault have brought some big upgrades, and that has caught AlphaTauri, Racing Point and Alfa Romeo napping there, because have you seen McLaren as well, that orange wiggly line? At one point they were the 2nd slowest car on the grid, and now they're the 5th fastest, so they are definitely on the up. Obviously they haven't had a great season, they're languishing down in 8th position in the championship, but these upgrades could make that big push to try and catch Alfa Romeo and Renault as well. I mean, they've had a better season than McLaren, but they're now the 4th fastest car. They'll be pushing for big points as well to try and stay ahead of Racing Point and AlphaTauri, which I think, I remember rightly from the last episode, they are all tied on 111 points in the Constructors' Championship. But yes, moving to qualifying here, we've got our car. It's a bit cloudy here in Austin, a bit remnant of having flashbacks to 2015 when they had that, I think it was a hurricane or some big storm that they had there back in 2015, and the conditions were absolutely terrible that they had. Did they host qualifying on the Sunday? I can't remember. Again, that's another feature that's not in F1 2020. But yes, our initial lap was good enough at 10th place, but we've dropped down to 12th, so we're already 3/10 up on a new set of soft tyres. Obviously only one, this is a short qualifying session and a 25% race. Obviously if they have 35% the game, which I think they should, because obviously it's going to be in F1 esports, so allow for practice and get the general public playing it as well. But yes, end of the straight with 3.5 tenths up on our previous time. So we'll go into this section where we've improved. There is one corner in the first sector where I'm not very good and I lose all the time. You'll be seeing a lot of that in the race. I can tell you now a little bit of spoiler. Through that corner you gain 3.5 tenths. Goodness grief. So yes, and then through the reverse of Turkey's turn 8, almost 7 tenths up now, so this is very good, although we have dropped to 16th on the grid. So where this is 8.5 tenths up now through that final corner, this is a very good lap. I think we got a 90-second time line as well, and it's third place. Wow, okay, I did not expect that. Yeah, I know Albon's on pole, but the fact of the matter is he hasn't won. He's taken pole a couple of times this year, and he's only actually won once this season. We split the two Mercedes, but yeah, definitely tight there. Well, this is definitely something that we didn't expect. Third place. What can we do? Can we get the victory? Time for the race.
Well done. Very solid results. You're looking good for the race.
Here we are then in one of the fastest growing cities in the United States, the fabulous Austin, in the great state of Texas. The circuit itself 14 miles southeast of the city centre and home to the US Grand Prix since 2012. The latest in a long list of iconic tracks to have that honour. We have 10 turns to the left and 10 to the right here at the fantastic Circuit of the Americas. Overtaking opportunities into turn 1 and 12 at this anti-clockwise 3.6 mile track. And we should see average lap speeds of around 126 miles per hour. Anthony Davidson is alongside me as usual for the race today. Why don't we kick off by discussing Max Verstappen? Looks like they've got a tough race in store today as grid penalties from changing power unit components has forced them further down the field.
But on the bright side, at least those fresh components can help them maintain the power they need to come through the pack. I expect to see them take a more aggressive approach today to make up for the compromised start.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Good job yesterday from Valtteri Bottas. The Finn starts from pole position and a Red Bull alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Hamilton, Leclerc, Daniel Ricciardo and Vettel, Norris, Magnussen, Albon. They've taken a grid penalty. And Lance Stroll, Russell, Perez, Pierre Gasly and Giovinazzi, De Vries, Ocon, Daniel Kvyat and Carlos Sainz. Latifi and Max Verstappen completes the grid. Now, it's almost time for lights out, so let's go down to the track.
We're looking good for a point-scoring finish today. Good luck.
Positivity from Jep and Emma there. I mean, this is the most positivity, excuse me, I can't say the word, that we've had from both of them in absolute ages. And we're on the front row as well. Albon had a penalty. I mean, his durability is suffering for him, not for us. As 5 lights are out and away we go for a front row start. And we're underway, and it's a great start, and we're up into the lead of the Grand Prix. We had the better line going into turn 1. We're just going to shove out Bottas and allow Hamilton to come in and take for us. We look now, switch to on board with Daniel Ricciardo, and is Bottas going to lose out to the Australian as well? This could be a good chance for Ricciardo to get some decent points for Renault as well. Obviously, he's got he's making some updates. Obviously, performance graph isn't quite known as Albon. Struggling again in traffic. He's behind an Alpha Tauri. I think it's Magnussen. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, not doing very well. Sort of stuck in the train. But we're not really making inroads. You can see that 4 exit on that corner again. And Hamilton's down our inside going into the hairpin. We have to take the try and do a switchback move. It's not a textbook switchback because we hit the bollard. But you can see here we just get poor drive of that corner, and then it just allows the AI to take it, and we have to take the bollard in order to not try and hit into Hamilton. We do get the better exit than Hamilton, and again we're into lap 4. It's deja vu of lap 3, and this time the bollard's not there, so, and it's a better switchback actually. There's we get the move, continue the move done. And of course, it gives us position on the straight and puts Hamilton under the path of Daniel Ricciardo, who's got the DRS and has moved ahead of Hamilton into second place. And Ricciardo didn't have the downforce of Hamilton. The runner isn't as fast. Although he's able to keep with me, he's not as fast through the corners as me yet. I presume that Renault, as soon as they might become one to watch going into season 3, when they make those upgrades. 2.6 second stop, not bad. Ricciardo's coming out behind us, and he'll be ahead of Hamilton, and we're going to come out the pits into P14. We've got Nicholas Latifi, who's not really doing that, so we're watching now Bottas to see where he's going to feed out. He's had a very good. There we come in the Red Bull, and we see there's a little bit of a gap between myself and Ricciardo, and that's where Bottas is going to feed in. So he's jumped Hamilton and Bottas, and we'll be back up into effective P2. So watching Sergio Perez now, who chases after, well, he was chasing after an AlphaTauri, but his engine has turned into a bonfire, and that has brought out the safety car with 3 cars. Russell, who was leading, and then Gasly and Stroll, but all of them came in. And interestingly, Russell is actually going to gain big time and is going to feed out ahead of Ricciardo into 3rd place. Here he is now into turn 1, almost getting in front of Bottas. So this could be a big chance for Alfa Romeo to get some big points, especially as well with McLaren now sort of out the running. Our teammate's only down in P10 behind Sebastian Vettel as well, so he's not really been going anywhere as we lead the pack. This is our race to lose. We're going to try and build a gap over Russell. It's potentially just me against Bottas really, because Russell will be backing Ricciardo and Hamilton and Leclerc up there. Leclerc not really playing it out. He's just playing for the World Championship. He can win it today because he's that far ahead, and I think because of where we are, the positions of him, Hamilton I think is the main challenger, he has to win the race, and we're winning. So we're basically doing Leclerc a favour through this race. As the safety car does come in, we all want tyres up. None of the Mugello rubbish of slowing down. We're just going to bolt absolute here, and we've caught Bottas a little bit napping there, and we gained out half a second there. So moving to the penultimate lap, lap 13 of 14, Bottas has been winding himself up for a move, and he's having a go. Again, poor traction out of that corner. He tries around the outside, but we squeeze him out, and that was really the race. Bottas, it was good with the pit stop, but didn't have enough, and we come across the line to win.
Absolutely awesome. Just amazing. Well done.
And so the celebrations begin, and well earned they are indeed. It may have looked simple at times, but as any racing driver will tell you, competing at this level, at the very top, is anything but simple. There's no catching them now then. We have a new World Drivers' Champion. A truly magnificent drive and a great performance from the entire team to secure the win here in Austin. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection, a shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
So P1, our 3rd victory of the season as well, 4th overall, should have been 5th I think. Yes, Albon only 10th in the end, as the likes of Gasly and Stroll and also George Russell benefited from the safe pitting under the safety car, although we did that. Our lap times, though, was very close. The reason Verstappen there had a 5-second penalty for colliding with each other, which was this. That tap gave both drivers a 5-second penalty, which is ridiculous. But anyway, moving to the driver standings, we're 6 points behind Hamilton, 7 behind Bottas. So P2, we could end up runner-up. We've only got Brazil left, a track that I've done well at in the past. I don't think I've ever won there in Brazil on this channel. Oh no, we did. I think we did in F2. In F2 my team. That's literally the only time, I think. Constructors, I mean, we're out of it. It's going to be a straight fight between Ferrari and Mercedes down at Brazil to see who can win.
Amazing performance out there. I'm sure you're pretty happy with that. It doesn't get much better than a win at this track, does it?
Well, considering the run of poor qualifiers we've had, this is a good to bounce back. Bit like Valtteri Bottas has in Russia, although more interesting and less boring because, of course, we cut out the snoozy bits in the middle.
What do you think made the difference between this weekend and last weekend?
Better qualifying. Simple as that. That's all that can be said. We qualified further up the grid.
How do you feel about this team's performance this season?
The car's been dreadful for McLaren. They've been at times they were second slowest, but they did get points. Not today though. No. None of those answers allow me to get away with a good rep.
Appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks for wasting mine as usual. But yes, in terms of the driver acclaim, we're still on level 12. That's going to put us in good stead for other positions. Obviously, our contract is coming up in the end of the next episode, and we will try to renew Red Bull. We'll see what we can do. R&D points. We've got 4 engine upgrades available, and we've got 3 on the weight reduction. That's the 4 that I'm going to really target as well, and also those couple of minor upgrades. I did say we were going to do durability, that last one on that bottom row, but I don't know if we should do the MGUK. We have got further upgrades to come, and those 2 minor ones as well. So yes, you'll find out tomorrow what upgrades that we did do for Brazil, which will be the fun upgrades of the season. We're not really going to go ERS. I don't think that ultimate ERS upgrade is actually any worth doing because we have absolutely no issues with it. Yes, we will have plenty of engine components for Brazil, so we won't need to take any new parts either. So we will be good. Hopefully there'll be a few people that do have to take it so we can get further out the grid, and we'll be in good position to get second place hopefully, which is where I'm going to leave it today. If you have enjoyed, then leave a like, subscribe to the channel for news, see more episodes of the F1 2020 career mode with Red Bull as when they come out. Until the next video, take care, thank you so much for watching, enjoy your day, and goodbye.